live here tonight. Yeah, so now
Yeah.
you're actually recording.
Alright, cool.
Now it's the real deal.
Alright, cool.
Now it's the real deal.
Let's get started.
So, what's this punch in the crowns? No. The first topic I want to mention is
I don't think we should be like that strict with it. First, tell me how your day's been.
yeah, I've been high for half the day.
This is because fucking Adderall.
I literally took one at, what was it? 9:40? Something along those lines.
Yeah.
I've been hype as shit for the whole day, pretty much.
My friend, when he was sick, right, he needed like time to do his project, and he didn't want to be sick because he didn't want to lose that. He didn't want to lose that time.
Yeah.
So what he did was he said that he like took Adderall and mixed it with coffee.
Yeah.
Right. And instead, what ended up occurring was like he didn't actually like do his project. All that happened was he just walked up and down his room, forward and back.
Just walking up and down.
Yeah. And then he was telling me his brother came in. He's like, "You feeling okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great."
that sounds like the time when Nathan was over.
Yeah.
And I tried Coke for the first time.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, guys, it's 3 a.m. right? Let's play football outside. I just want to play football right now. Me, Nathan, and Brett at 3 a.m. in the cold playing football in our t-shirts. With a fucking half empty bowl, like nowhere inside. Oh, it was great. It was a great evening.
But other than that, it was your day good?
Yeah, I'd say so. It was pretty productive.
Are you still hyper because of it? Or has it worn off?
A little bit.
Alright.
But to be honest, I feel kind of excited doing these things.
Yeah, me too. Okay, let's get into the topics now.
So, adequateness, analogies.
Yeah.
Pretty comfortable with this topic.
He's a lecturer. Just before people.
Oh yeah. So adequately is this lecture of ours, mine actually, and like me, he just uses the most awkward analogies possible. And when I say like me, I mean like yesterday, this guy was like, this character in League of Legends needs a nerf, like it needs to be toned down because the numbers are too high for it. And I was just like, what do you mean tone it down? Like, excuse you, but if Riot, the company that runs League of Legends, were to bring down those numbers, imagine like Riot is your Asian stepdad and you, Akali, are the son studying to be a doctor. Like, you're grounded until you're a doctor. She doesn't need to be toned down. Excuse you, right? That kind of analogy. The guy was like, "Oh, that analogy is so bad." And someone else was like, "Yeah, it made no sense. Sorry, Jao." I loved it. It made me laugh.
Yeah, I guess
pretty good. So it just like adequately just pops out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. The analogy still off. They know.
Continue.
So adequately just
Oh, actually, guys, just to make it seem very casual, I do have a McDonald's delivery. Give me like 2 seconds, and we'll get back to your.
To be fair, I already told you the story.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, just tell them, and I'll go.
So the lecturer, just we're talking about computers, all that, and we're talking about encryption now. So he goes along the lines of, so guys, if you don't want your data to go out and for everyone to know your data, you just have to encrypt it. Right, that makes sense. I toned out, like, I just zoned out of class, and when I, zoned back in, he just, like, pops this analogy that for a person coming into it, it's just so strange, right? So it's just like, so imagine that you own this school and they're choking children to death, right? You want to hide that data, so you have to encrypt it. What is that?
Anyway, continue.
So you have to encrypt that data to hide it. It's like, what? How do we go from encrypting data to suddenly we're choking children to death?
It's good because, like, by the way, I'm back now. It's good because where you have your lectures, you know, it's a common room. It's like a computer lab. Yeah. So I'll be like a couple rows down doing my work, and like I'll look up whenever like I'm bored just to pay attention to the lecture, and he'll be like, and that's how like data analytics work, right? And you know, it's very important. I'm like, oh, okay, it's a lecture, so I zone back out, and then as soon as I zone back into the lecture, and he's like, and then you know, once you get the Jews in, you can send the children and the women, and you're just sitting there like, wait, what? and then I zone back out, and then all of a sudden he's just like, and that's the moral behind Cinderella. And then he just ends it with good lecture today, guys. I'll see you guys next week.
One time he made an analogy with the butterfly thing.
Oh yeah.
It's just like
he was like this code is pretty much similar to the butterfly effect, you know, like if a butterfly flaps its wings here, does it create like a storm in Orlando which is responsible for killing Hitler? And you're like, what?
And then the Jews all die. Anyway, like, it's so random. His analogies are actually worse than mine. It's impressive.
Yeah. I don't think they're worse. I think if anything, it's just they're very uncoordinated. I think in his mind he thinks like it's very poetic and philosophical.
He just starts laughing in the middle of them, so I don't know about that. He actually started laughing a lot when I said miss cake instead of mistake, because he wanted to like give out cake to people that made people that made mistakes would give us the other people cake, and I was like, miss cake, and he was like, okay, I'll give you that one. And I'm like, oh, you found it funny.
To be fair,
yeah.
I think he's an okay I think he's an okay guy. I don't know how he is as a lecturer, but he's when he's all over the place, he's fucking all over the place.
Oh yeah, he doesn't even try. And when you mention anything that's serious but arguable, he just goes all in fucking Illuminati on you.
Yeah. He's like, it's a system, shit, bro. You gotta be careful.
Holy shit! Was it the Mars rover? You mentioned to him once.
Yeah.
Fucking 3-hour conversation right there. Just listening about him complaining. Oh, and fucking moon landing. He thinks it was fake. Like, absolutely fake. But he will talk. He interrupted like a whole class for like 2 hours. Like a 3-hour class. 2 hours was him complaining about the moon landing.
Right.
It was like the 3rd class or something this year. Absolutely terrible. Like, I'm here to learn. And he's like, yeah, but the moon landing was fake.
Is this a recent thing?
Slightly, yeah.
Like last term or?
Last term.
Oh, okay. I see.
He'll still do it though.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't put it past him in all honesty.
Yeah.
The thing is like, so a lot of people. The people who believe this is gonna sound stupid. Okay. The people who believe that the moon landing is fake, I feel like they're a lot more plausible and understandable than flat earthers. Genuinely.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough actually.
Yeah, because the thing is like, I'd say there's more evidence in support that in like weird support of the moon landing being fake than the
flat
Earth. Yeah.
The flat Earth, you just have a documentary that goes like, oh yeah, our test failed. Whoops. We'll try it again another time.
There's a thing where it's like because sometimes you can see the shadow of Earth on the moon.
Yeah.
And they're like, man, look how beautiful the shadow is, and it's just a black line across the moon.
It's just a disc.
So yeah.
Since we're in the topic of the building Nelson, by the way, I would love for you to tell the story, the dream, the dream that happened.
Oh. Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Please, this is brilliant.
In our uni, we get like these open days. They're open days, right? And
faculty days.
Faculty days or whatever it is, right? Or as like the Indians say, faculty days. But the thing is like,
just like
the thing is like, so that what they do is they take students through like certain parts of like the campus to show them all the facilities that are available, and whenever they walk through Nelson, which is like the computer labs, my dream is always like to make it look like we're more busy than we actually are. Because if you were to show up to Nelson, what is it? It's absolutely quiet. Yeah. There's like a couple of dudes like debating Love Island, and then like everyone else is just on their computer doing work. And then from the people doing work, 9 of them are I get sidetracked by like, I'm like, okay, so like coronary stents do this, and this, and I get sidetracked. I'm like, cats in hats. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, a fedora can work on a cat, right?
Yeah.
And then so you know it's all it's all pretty tame. So what I would love is
Yeah, but like we've been discussing this since Christmas.
Yeah.
Easily.
I've been thinking about this since the second year, but yeah. So what I would have loved to have happened is sorry, let me just take a bite out of this nugget. That's some good part.
So crispy.
You want one?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm feeding my co-host.
Thanks. Yeah, we ate it. Yeah, that's so crunchy today. Damn. Pretty good.
Sorry. Anyway. Sorry, we got sidetracked.
You're so casual.
Yeah, no. You know, we're just running with the vibes, man. No. So what happened was I would love it if they did these things where, you know, so whenever they run through, I was telling this to Joe, I was like, I'd love it if when they take these students, because the thing is, these faculty tours include like parents and children, so you know, prospects for the uni, like hopeful students that want to get into the uni.
Yeah.
I would love it if when they took them through the computer area at Nelson, everyone's just pretending to be super busy about shit that doesn't even make sense. No one's gonna question it because they'll be like, man, this must be what engineers do. So I'd love it if like one of my friends has like a whiteboard that has like an equation that has nothing to do with another equation. He's trying to link them together, right? And he's got like a picture of a taco in the corner, and they're like, oh my god, the Doppler effect, right? And then like at the same time, you know, there'll be one person like typing away in a keyboard, like really going ham on it, right? And then he's like, I've got control back of the system, and you know, all of that. And then like I my one role is to do the cliche running around with a piece of paper going like, these numbers don't make sense, right? And you know, this at first I thought this was all pipe dreams until recently when it actually happened. And like the best part was it was all impromptu, right? So what ended up occurring was we had like a guided tour, right? And literally, I opened up, what is it, like the fake hacker site? Yeah. It's like for those
Hacker Typer.
Hacker Typer. For those of you that don't know, it's like a default kind of. It's a fake site where if you type if you press one letter down, it does like a word line of code for you, right? And you can keep pressing and clicking a bunch of stuff, and it looks like it shows like hacking database and like bomb armed and all of this shit. So I like opened it up and I was like, oh my god, guys, I'm entering the system, right? And I'm like typing all of this, and at the same time, my friend, he comes walking in, right? And he has his phone in his hand, and he's just like, yeah, well, you know what, Simon? Time is money, and if you want money, you gotta stop wasting my time. And he took his phone and threw it in the bin. And at the same time, he gets a phone call. He's like, oh, for fuck's sake, now what? And he pulls it back out of the bin and pretends to have like another serious conversation. And then another one of my friends, I was like, guys, I'm having trouble breaking it in, and he's sitting opposite me, and you know, there's like a relatively big gap between the yeah. So he's like, don't worry, Kuma, I got your back, and he like puts his hand through the big gap, and then like it's like opposite.
You mean opposite?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was next.
No. He goes he's opposite me. He feeds his hand through, and he's just like, I'm helping you, and he's just slamming the keyboard, right? And literally all that happened was we opened up the Windows menu 4 times, and he's just like clicking it. And he's like, am I helping? I'm like, we're doing great, buddy, right? And then like I pulled out another mouse, and I'm like, guys, we need to hack into another system, right? And then yeah, the computer's completely off, right? And then there were all these points where we were doing all these unnecessary shit, and one of the girls that was behind me did like a double take when she looked at my screen, and because there's in the fake hacker site there's like a default window that shows up, right? And it's like security footage, and like, I don't know what they're trying to imply here. The security footage is inside a mosque, right? So when she was walking behind me, the look she gave when that opened up, and I was like, oh no, they're in, right? And then what happened was one of my mate's girlfriends came along, and she was like, don't worry, I'll help you start typing as well. And literally all she did was she pressed enter and plus 4 times, and nothing happened. And then finally the peak of it, when we were running out of energy, my friend, he does the greatest thing. He unplugs an HDMI cable from behind the monitor, and he just goes, "Hello, NASA!" Right? And he's like, "We've got the missiles. Let's get going!" Right? It was fucking brilliant. My god.
And then Kachiko.
Oh yeah. And then one of our lecturers, oh my god, I love this man. He's by far he's the best lecturer you could, I think, like you could get in this uni, just because of how chilled he is. Because he had the final tour group, and we did the same thing. So there were 3 tour groups, and we did this 3 times. So he had the final one, and when we were doing it, he like stopped the tour group, watched us like create all of this havoc, and then he just said,
By the way, wait just a minute. This is the most accurate impression of him, by the way. This is actual voice. Go.
"Sorry, I took a bite."
Oh, come on, man. Now he's munching. Just end the mukbang.
Yeah, so he came in, and literally he was like, "Well, ladies and gentlemen, these are my children," and he pointed at all of us, and like school children, we were just like, "Hi there, you know, like Dr. Nick from Simpsons."
Yeah.
"Hi there, everybody," and then everyone's like, "Hello, Dr. Nick." Right? We were just like, "Hi there, doctor."
Oh, fuck.
And then
Everyone's just back to work.
yeah, everyone just went back to work.
Super intense.
The thing is, like, he clearly thinks highly of us, despite the fact that we were all on like fake hacker sites, right? One of my friends just opened up a default video for 45 minutes on YouTube, which is like fake hacking, and he just left on one of the monitors,
Yeah.
right? And he was like, I don't know what Kashik was thinking when he saw us, and he was like, he was like, these are the pride and joy of mechanical engineering. And then but even before that, prior to him saying this and prior to us doing all of this, 2 seconds earlier, I was arguing with one of my friends on whether unicorns poop.
And Sean was googling it.
Yeah. Because I wanted it to end.
Oh fuck, that is brilliant. Oh shit, this story does not get old.
It could not get better.
It's fucking
It could not have gotten
brilliant.
better. But yeah, no, it was a fun ride. It was a romp, a laugh, and a riot. Oh my god. Do you want to go to the next topic, or do you have more to add?
I don't think I can add anything to that.
Oh.
That's a brilliant fucking story right there. Like, oh my god, that's the dream come true. Fucking hell, we've been talking about this such specific situation for the longest time.
And it's like one of those award moments where it's like, I've been waiting for this moment my whole life, and when it finally happens, I just don't know what to say.
Yeah, I'm fulfilled. I'm edging.
What?
I'm edging.
Oh, yeah. I'm edging.
So
Great, Mr. Struggle over here.
yeah. So
Tell me about this one. I don't think I've heard this one.
What?
The next topic. What is
Random
it?
black guy
Yeah,
walking in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I did tell you. So when we say like we talked about this or we're going to talk about this because we mentioned it before, we actually go on like daily walks and we talk for like an hour before all these things and all that.
It's kind of therapeutic at this point.
Yeah,
I do enjoy it.
it's quite nice. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, I did tell you about this. So we were having this sort of party in my house. I don't know, like none of us in the house were invited to it, but there was a party in my house, and this black guy just walks in, fucking yelling, and I'm in the kitchen just silently cooking rice, and the guy just walks in, fucking yelling, just like, yeah, black, right?
East London, am I right?
Right, he's just fucking yelling all over the place, right? And I'm just like, oh man, that's a bit obnoxious, isn't it? And so he clearly walks into the house, he goes up the stairs, goes down the stairs, up the stairs again, and when he goes up the stairs the final time, just opens the door and fucking slams the door, and it's so much fucking noise. Mm-hmm. Eventually he's just like yells, I'm going to the bathroom, yeah? He's like, yeah, just go down to the kitchen, bro. And he's like, okay, mate, okay.
What are they brommy?
I don't know.
You just go down to the kitchen, bro.
I don't know. I mean, the guy is like,
yeah.
I don't know, South London, East London, they all sound the same. So, to go to the toilet, you need to go through the kitchen. And I'm in the kitchen silently cooking rice. The guy just walks in and while he's still yelling, like, hey, bro, London, mate. Yeah. Bro. Right? And then he gets to the kitchen, he's like, oh, hi there. And then he just goes to the toilet, does his business, and it's like, you right? And I'm like, yeah, you good? And he's just like, yeah. He just walks past, leaves to the living room. He's now in the living room and just goes again, oi, bro, yeah, London, innit? It's like, what just happened? What happened here?
I'd like it if the embarrassment hit him so hard that when he went back into his friend's room, he's like, "How dare you? You did not tell me you had a Mexican in the kitchen." He's over there cooking he's over there cooking quesadillas, right? Right, and all those tacos and all those fajitas, right? I'm sick, and here I am partying. I will not be part of the establishment. I'd love it because
there were like 5 people in that room. That room, I kid you not.
Yeah,
it's less than half of mine actually. It's so small.
True.
Like, how?
True. Actually,
so many people inside that room.
Zhao's room. Okay. Zhao's room is big, but like if you take it directly in half, that's pretty tiny.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just go to YouTube and check my video of me chewing my ass, and you'll see. But yeah,
It's a weird plug. Yeah, we'll take it.
yeah. For fuck's sake. Oh man.
By the way, on that channel is also where you'll find our first podcast.
Yeah, the pilot.
Yeah.
The pilot episode.
Yeah.
Wait, do we call this episode 2 or episode 1?
No, episode 2. Episode 1's always considered a pilot.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nice. we're this is a common thing that we do now. Yeah.
Yeah, we're keeping pretty cash.
yeah. Pause. Right. We pretty much just covered a group project with the dream team.
Oh, go for it.
So no, we covered it, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, no.
Like we talked about Nelson. That's all I care about at this point. We talked about it.
True.
So,
but I tell you what, in regards to these nuggets, it's got me thinking about MasterChef. Now you have your own opinion on this.
That's so great. That's a nice secret.
You have your own
Yes.
take on MasterChef.
Yes.
Quick question: which MasterChef have you seen? Like the USA, Canada, or UK?
I watched the Canadian one so
So
fucking
good.
much.
One with the Chinese Elton
Yeah,
John.
I fucking hate him, but at the same time, I love this show.
Your time starts now.
And then it's just like, you should be putting that in the oven. Just like, okay, chill out, Chink Mason. Like, God.
Continue. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say is like, you can have like 5 words of your choosing, maybe 3. Fuck it, 3 words of your choosing. If you're the MasterChef, like, people, the judges. If you're the judges of MasterChef, you need 3 words of your choice. Like at the start, like before the first episode, when you're selecting people, you just use 3 words. I'd be like acidity, tasty, and juicy.
Yeah.
That would be my 3 words. Then you pick your own 3 words.
Yeah. It would be. My 3 words would be harmonious, appealing, and enticing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they have like these standard
Yeah,
words they use
these
for every
buzzwords.
dish.
Yeah.
It's just like, yes, the acidity from the, and then just say something random. The acidity from the sugar. It's just like,
the acidity from the cigarette ends. I love them.
Yes. So, the lube on this plate, right, really makes it glow. It's so tasty and so juicy.
Yeah.
The chicken is absolutely acidic. It's like, wait, isn't that bad? Yeah, but the lemon. What? One time it was like, it just tasted like this mesh of everything, and it was like, it was the most random fucking dish. Okay, like a dish that clearly has a lot of flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say he caught like 5 layers of a cake. He eats it, and like the top layer had like 1 nut on it, and he's like, "Oh, I just feel all the nuts and the chocolate." It's like, none of it is chocolate. What do you mean? It's just like, what? Fucking hilarious.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I was telling you this earlier, which is when they give them like a default thing to cook.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they give them like a really unfair time constraint.
Yeah.
Like they'll be like it can be like a French dish, and they'll be like, you have to cook this little baton, right? Francois, right? And
well, we can make a little bit of info.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so how hard can it be?
No. So yeah, well, exactly. What would happen is like they'd give them like this really. First of all, I just don't like the time constraint shit, because that's like saying welcome to Master Builder. Today you have to build the Burj Khalifa, which is like that 79 million foot tall building in Dubai, right? Yeah, right. And here's what you've got. You've got this Dora the Explorer toy hammer that just goes when you like hits it, okay? And you get like ice cream sticks and 1 pube. Go, right? And then they have to like build it. And I also hate like, it's food, right? It's
Yeah,
food,
yeah.
but they always the contestants always treat it like their lives depending on it. They're like there's just one girl's like, oh my god, I wanted to saute my squids, but I ended up doing a vichy swaz on it. I'm like, well, what?
What's this was?
Yeah, what's a vichy swaz? What is this, right? And I hate all these like technical terminology where they're like, you have to saute the food, right?
Yeah.
And then when you're like, what does sauteing do? And you look at it, and it's like, oh, you just kind of have to burn them a bit, like fry them a bit, and then put them in the dish, right? And then you get all of this, but then the worst part is when the judges start talking about whilst the contestants are cooking. So like it'll be like, today's challenge, you have to cook a Scotch egg. Your time starts now, and everyone's like starting to like cook, and
they're fucking rushing to run to the ingredients.
Yeah. And then like one judge would look at the other, and then be like, a Scotch egg, very very easy on the eyes, but very difficult to master, right? And then very difficult to master. Chef. Oh! They just high five each other. They just high five each other, right? And then it's like, how would you approach this? Okay, and it would become something like oh shit, we can become famous. No, so they'd be like, how would you approach this, right? And like, it's like a Scotch egg. It's like, oh, apparently you're supposed to like. So you can make Scotch eggs without doing this, but apparently you have to like in MasterChef you have to like make a whirlpool in the water as it's boiling, and then you drop the egg in, and it like folds in on it.
But it's a very specific temperature.
Yeah. And it's like how would you approach this challenge? And one chef would be like, well, me personally, I'd make a vortex clockwise, and then gently shift it to anti-clockwise, and then as I just put the egg in, I just jerk into it, right? And then like once the nut juices are flowing anti-clockwise to the clockwise egg, it'll achieve harmony. And then like one chef will be like, absolutely, I agree, I would eat that,
and that would be the perfect ending. And the outside would be very crispy at the same time, while the inside is really moist.
While the inside will be containing life because of the jerk I like dropped into it. What was it? There was like a joke. There was a joke which was it was like it was on a show, I can't remember, but like the line was like it's like things you wouldn't hear in a nature documentary or like a biology documentary. And it's like it's like, and as the sperm swim towards the egg, I've ruined a good breakfast. But oh my god. So here's the thing, like there's two types of so there's MasterChef. MasterChef in England is fine. They take it very seriously. These are like actual trained chefs.
Is this the one with Gordon Ramsay or
No. Gordon Ramsay is in the American one, right?
So stupid.
So here's the thing.
That's so weird.
MasterChef in England is like they get actual chefs to compete against each other.
I think I know who it is actually.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you get, what's his name, Heston Blumenthal or whatever his name. That's one of the judges, right? That's a name, by the way. It fucking sounds like a choking hazard, right? And
you just fucking we're not English. It is a choking hazard.
But it also sounds like a medical drug. It's like, I'm gonna need 50 cc's of Heston Blumenthal, right? But here's the thing. So what it was is like, so there's two types. There's the one with Gordon Ramsay, and you get the standard. It's fucking raw, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And where's the lamb sauce?
Yeah.
But then you get the Canadian one, right? And just so it's like the difference between them is night and day. Because like in the American ones, they're willing to like do anything to beat each other in this competition, right?
Oh, you mean the cooks?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because like it can be something as simple as Cher forgot to get the sour cream from like the store or from the cabinet, right?
Yeah.
And then she's asking Sarah for the sour cream, and this is what Sarah's doing, and she's just like, hey Sarah, can I have some sour cream? And she's like, go kill yourself, you bitch, right? And then it cuts to Sarah going like, it's a competition. If I want to win this, I gotta make sure that everyone knows that I'm not here to play games, right? And then it's right. Or at the same time, it'll cut to like another contestant, and he'll be like, oh, like Jared's been acting like really up his own ass since he's been winning like the last two challenges. So to make this extra difficult for him, I've got his family hostage, right? right?
Yeah,
But then you have the Canadian one, and
Yeah.
they want to be mean. They want to be angry with each other. They want to
At
like.
the same time, they can't,
No,
they?
they're so Canadian.
Oh
They're
my
so
God.
they're so polite,
That's
right?
so true.
Yeah, no, they're so polite. Like for example, it would be like
It breaks my heart when the old guy gets mad
Yeah,
and says
yeah.
something bad.
yeah,
Ah.
right. No, but like it's like so the constructive criticism in MasterChef USA is like
Yeah.
night and day, right? So
Yeah.
like MasterChef USA, it'll be like so for example, there was a dude who brought in like crepes, yeah.
Yeah.
He brought in 15 crepes, all like crushed.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah, and then like Gordon Ramsay ate it, and he was just like, "Oh my god, that is a weird texture. It feels like I've had a skin graft on my ass, and you served it on a plate, right? Like it's so creative, right? But then
Where do you get shit from?
yeah,
Right, yeah,
but
go
then like the Canadians try and outdo him, but they just can't because like those. Okay, I think the most savage thing I've heard there was a guy makes like a pumpkin soup or pumpkin risotto,
Yeah.
and like the Chinese judge eats it, and he's like risotto, pretty bad. the guy's like. And he's like, but the sauce, and the guy goes, and then he's just like, pretty bad too. and after all of that, they're just like, thank you, chef. Like, oh.
Bars, dude.
But yeah, after that they were like, oh, like they have no choices. They're just like, thank you, chef, right? And and then so there was also like if the contestants are competing against each other in this show. Oh my god! Like their level of meanness is like it's almost like charity compared to the American one, right? Where it's like it's like okay, so there'll be like one contestant going like, oh, Maurice forgot to bring like the apples, and the apples are the stars of the dish. What's she gonna do now, right? And then like one of the judges is like, oh, she could ask Steve for the apples, right? And then like she'll be like, hey Steve, can I have some apples? He's like, oh yeah, sure thing, bud, right? And he gives her the apple, right? And then it cuts to Steve, and he's just like, oh, I gave her the apple, all right. But I gave it with attitude, right? And he's like, and after the way I gave it to her, she'll be sorry, eh? Right? And then like it cuts to like Maurice who's got the apple, and she's like, yeah, Steve gave me the apple, but why did you have to give it with such a big attitude, eh? Right?
Or like attitude.
Yeah, exactly.
The most savage thing I think the Asian guy gave to anyone was he went up to the thing, he tasted it, and he's like, yeah, you want to win? And he's like, yeah, chef, I really want to win. Yeah, you better. And just left. It's like, oh, whoa.
He's done something worse. It's kind of weird though, because everyone felt awkward with it. Because I don't know how the editing team did this, but they cut the music out because music creates atmosphere.
Yeah.
So they just did it with no atmosphere, and it's just so awkward. They had to cook this thing. What's it? Smelts?
Yeah.
Like some weird fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was it? So like, they always call the best chefs first, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh my god, that's delicious. But there was one dude through the whole thing. I remember watching it going like, this guy has no fucking clue what he's doing. Like, because smelts are like apparently really, really smelly, like as a fish, right? Yeah. Apparently they stink. No. So yeah. They're really pungent. Okay.
Ooh,
and apparently, like also because they're so small, you can eat them like bone, like eye.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, so like so this dude was like gutting them and trying to like take the bones out.
Oh, no.
Right?
You're
Right?
joking. I
And
didn't
then
see that one.
yeah, and then like a judge comes over and he's just like, whoa, Dan, what are you doing? And he's just like, how you doing there, chef? Right? And he's just like, what are you doing to the smelts? And he's just like, oh, I'm just trying to get the bones out. And then he was like, Dan, look at this. And he like picks up like the bone and like compares it to the size of his finger, and it's like the strand of a hair,
Yeah, it
if
is.
not smaller.
It's really small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like, don't worry, he's gonna make like smelt. What's his name? It's like smelt. Kind of like smelt sticks, basically, right?
Right, bone?
Yeah, pretty much. No, so what happens is like everyone's like, oh my god, Dan's a fucking retard. And then like when they look at him, he's like, you're doing great, buddy, right? and then he's like, man, I'm gonna kill this dish. When he finally brings it up, right? The Chinese judge, what's his name, Alvin, comes over. He's like, Dan, I see you cooking over there. They're very cool, right?
He's so annoying.
No.
I hate him.
No, but he's like, they're very cool, aren't you? You're a very cool guy. And then the dude's like, yeah, I'd say I am. And he's just like, And he takes like the smelt stick and then he eats it. And he's just like, this is Master Chef.
And you give me this?
And he like drops it.
He actually...
Yeah, he throws it, right?
Yeah.
And then like, do you know what the worst part is? Like, you know, like at least Gordon Ramsay's like, oh my god, that's disgusting. He takes the plate and then puts it in the bin in front of them.
No, there's no Gordon Ramsay.
It's Joe.
It's the other
It's
guy.
Joe, yeah, but fine. Okay, we'll get onto him. Give me a minute.
No. Trash.
No, we'll get onto him. Fucking little piece of shit. I hate him. Right? No, but this at least when the chefs don't like it, what does Gordon Ramsay do? Oh, he takes a tissue and he goes, and like puts it in there.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Or spits it directly in the bin.
yeah. But this dude was like, you give me this, and he like throws it on the plate at the fucking splash zone, right? And then like one of the judges is like, who's gonna clean that? Because like we can't make the chef clean it because he made the mess.
Yeah.
Right? So it's so fucking stupid. What was it? Yeah, let's get on to Joe. Joe Voss. Susie.
Another thing about Canada, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do this on the other versions or other series, whatever, but they do this thing. They do this thing every time they mention Canada and MasterChef.
Mm-hmm.
They always do. Here in the MasterChef Canada kitchen.
Yeah.
Like, why such a big title?
They're so blatant with the product placement as well, right? They're like, whoa! They come over and they're like, oh, Candace, you're doing such a good job with deboning the fish, and she's like, yeah, thanks, chef. And he's like, it's not because of your skill, it's because you're using the new Titan 5.9 knife set.
Actually, they always say this as well. I'm pretty sure they're obligated to do it, but I've never seen the Americans do it. But
they do.
They do?
Yeah.
I don't remember it. But I know the Canadian ones are always like, here in the MasterChef kitchen, they have 15 minutes to make a Scotch egg using the meal and utensils from Germany. It's like, well, goddamn. Well, that was a mouthful.
There was another one as well, which is like in the MasterChef USA one.
Yeah.
When they're cooking, and one of the judges comes over and they're like, man, this pasta's getting cooked pretty fast, isn't it? And then the guy's like, yeah. And he's like trying to explain like why he's like increasing. He's like trying to explain like why he's trying to increase like this, why the pasta's cooking fast. And he's trying to explain like the mechanics behind why he's cooking like this.
Yeah.
Right. So like you pretend to be that guy, I'll be the judge, right? I'm like, man, this pasta's cooking pretty fast, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm spinning it.
Yeah, no, it's not because of that. Thanks to the new Titan cookers, right? It's like it's so fucking pretentious. I hate it.
You know what mansplaining is? No.
But yeah, no, oh my fucking god.
Oh, it's brilliant. But yeah, you
the bald guy from
Joe,
MasterChef USA, Joe Bastianich. So here's the thing, he's apparently not a chef, he's a restaurateur.
It's not even a chef, he just walked in. We were like,
I'm a pissed off Italian. I'm Italian American, right?
And we were like, oh, fair enough.
No, and then, like there was a what is it? They were
Fair
like,
enough, eh?
They were like oh yeah. So it's a girl who like brought. I think Critical did a video on this, right? And it's like this girl who made scallops. Yeah. And she like made like a basket for them to be in. Yeah. But the baskets are edible. Yeah. Right. So you can like pick them up. Like it's kind of cute, right? Yeah. I liked it.
Oh, they did a mad. The Canadian one, they did a mad fucking sugar. Cage
No, but let's do the so she got the scallops in like the scallops in like a little basket. Okay. And I thought the flaw was she also did risotto. Yeah. But it turns out the risotto was undercooked. Mm. So I was like, oh. Like that's why she slacked. Yeah. But then like there are points where I feel like the chefs, like the judges, are being pretentious for the sake of being pretentious. Uh-huh. That like scallop garbage basket thing. No, sorry, that scallop basket thing, right? Garbage. I kind of may have ruined the joke there. But like that scallop basket thing, right? Looked good. It looked I'm sure it would have tasted good as well, right? Yeah. Gordon Ramsay came over and he's like right, when you can see the golden center in that risotto, what does it mean? And then the girl's like,
didn't say fucking no.
No. He was like, what does that mean? And the girl's like, that it's possibly undercooked. And he's like, possibly undercooked? No, that's definitely undercooked, right? Like the emphasis on the word bitch. Yeah. Like that's definitely undercooked. Right, and then like, and then he's like, what? He's like, a basket. What the fuck were you thinking with a basket, right? And then she's just like, I just thought it's like a chance for me to be creative. And he's like, no. I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at the MasterChef trophy, and I'm thinking, nah, right? And then Joe comes along and he's just like honestly, Sierra, a basket. You know what? Scallop baskets go in the garbage basket. Like drops it in. And I was like, this dickhead. Who the fuck is this dude?
He's such a bitch. And the thing is, I watch a lot of Crickle's videos on MasterChef as well, and it's just like every single time that guy even like sometimes he doesn't even try the dish. He doesn't even try the dish. Just pours it on in the fucking garbage. That's
Sorry,
it.
very off topic, guys. Did you know a fruit shoot, apple, and blackcurrant only has 10 calories in it?
Is it good?
Yeah, it's really tasty.
Fair enough.
But continue. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, most of the times he doesn't even taste the food. He's just like, you see this? Garbage. It's like, oh goddamn. Well, I didn't know it was that bad. Well, it isn't, but I didn't taste.
But it's. I didn't have to try. I didn't have to taste. Who's the restaurateur? I'm the restaurateur. You're not a restaurateur. I'm a restaurateur. Right? I hate that guy.
Restaurateur.
Yeah.
What?
I think he. I don't know. So you get the title as restaurateur if you get 2 Michelin stars, I think.
But he's not a chef.
No, maybe he is. I don't know, right?
From
who even knows if he's real? He's not even human, probably.
just showed up and the building was haunted.
Yeah, exactly.
And they needed a third chef anyway, a third judge anyway. Might as well.
But no, oh my god. By the way, sorry, very off topic. It kind of links in. But sometimes, like, on this show, like, they'll let the really bad chefs get away. On purpose, because it's like most of it is staged because they want to have the drama. Because that's.
I feel like so, because like, how do you record those things where they're like talking about their experience?
Yeah.
One of them actually, like I can say this with full security. There is definitely after the show.
Yeah.
But the thing is, one of them was so sad. On one of them, I think he was one of the Michaels.
Oh yeah.
Cause, the one with glasses. The
Michael
Matt's
G.
one.
Yeah, Michael G.
The guy was clearly so fucking sad when he was reviewing the thing. It's like they showed him like Vietnam fucking his fucking brain was just like, oh
no, that was
just looked like he was having flashbacks during the thing, because I think they show them the videos and like, what do you think in this situation, and he tried to express it and trying to wear the same clothes and everything. But he was clearly so sad because he lost.
My God, Michael G, right, was an absolute cutie though. He was like a maths graduate, and every shirt he had like a maths theme.
Oh yeah, fucking
and
fat Sheldon Cooper.
Yeah, no, but he was like, even when he when he was like when he was in like the what's the word, what's the early stage in the preliminaries, right? When they were like all the chefs were like, you have to prepare us a dish. And we're gonna go around and check, like, look on you as you're like preparing it. And if we don't like what we'll see, we'll tap you on the shoulder.
Yeah.
And if we tap you on the shoulder, that's it, you're out.
Yeah.
Right? And Michael G was like, he was like, as a maths graduate, I think that everything just comes down to formulas and numbers, right? And like he's really into it, right?
Yeah.
And he's really into what he does. And I'm like, man, I wonder like what kind of crazy maths dish he's gonna like make. He just made sausage. He made like a sausage, right? But apparently this sausage must be the fucking bomb because he got through to the semi-finals.
Definitely not German sausage.
No, he got through to the finals, and like the thing is like he was like I used the sphincter of the pig because that has like the perfect like fat to meat ratio, and he's like putting it all in like a grinder, and he's just like and then the Chinese judge came over. He's like, a sausage, and he's like, oh no, I love pork. I love it, right? No, he like cuts it in half and then like takes a bite out of it, and he's just like, that's a damn good sausage. And I was like, damn, fair enough, man. But no,
must got the pepper ratio really good.
But then no, the thing is like there are what is it? There are other shows as well. Forged in Fire.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to take this one? Do you want to take this one? Oh my god.
This blade will cut. It just cuts a pillow.
For those of you that don't know, Forged in Fire is where they get like a bunch of prospective blacksmiths.
Or actual blacksmiths.
Or actual blacksmiths. Yeah. And they make them compete in like various challenges. So like the first round, when there's like 4 people competing, they have to like make a blade. Right, and then the blade goes through series of tests, and each test they eliminate one person,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So there are 3 judges. One is Colonel Sanders. The other one, the other one is oh my god, a Filipino Bruce Lee called Doug Marcaida, right? And by the way, this dude is legit.
Yeah.
If you like look at his videos online, he knows how to fight,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Especially with weaponry. And then the other guy is probably like every stay-at-home dad who wanted to have his own show, and he probably was friends with Colonel Sanders and Doug.
Oh, I think I know who it is.
Yeah.
I think I know the one.
Right, and then the TV host is the most alpha Chad ever. Like if he's a blacksmith, he's clearly the alpha.
Is that the one that calls out for the kind of like breaks or let's talk about this?
He's like what's his name? He's like, Smith, you have 20 minutes remaining. Right,
That's the Asian guy from MasterChef Canada.
No. But what happens is
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you know the whole time calling thing?
Yeah.
Right. I saw there was a show that used to come on CBBC.
Yeah.
Right, called Horrible Histories.
Okay.
Right. And they took the piss out of MasterChef, and you know when they're calling out the time.
Yeah.
It's like, and here in the MasterChef kitchen, the cooks are working very hard to like prepare their dish, and it shows like one guy going like 8 minutes remaining, right? And then it cuts to like a few minutes later, and he's just like 12 minutes remaining, and then like the other judge is like, what the fuck? and then it cuts to like 5 seconds after that, he's just like 20 seconds remaining, right? It's fucking hilarious. There was what was it? There's like a bunch of them though.
So good.
There was
fucking good.
no, it's a good show. But yeah, no, back to Forged in Fire. So yeah, no, I mean, this show kind of like kind of speaks for itself, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I think the memes are just watching people like take it so seriously, and they use such technical terms like, oh, I need to make sure that the phalange doesn't get deniled across the brimstone fire force, and you're just like, what? Right? And it turns out that's just dipping it in oil so it gets quenched. I'm like, oh, okay, right? And then
I see the shaft of the blade. It's sharp enough. Cuts through a brick. Doesn't cut a pillow. What?
Oh yeah. There was the contestant where it's like, I didn't make my blade for cutting. I said, what the fuck did you make a blade for?
The guy fucking smacks a brick, cuts it in half, tries to cut a pillow. It doesn't cut.
Tries to cut a pillow and the blade gets torn.
And that guy, you know the one that looks like a fucking musketeer, musketeer.
Yeah.
You just go,
Sanders.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah, just fucking smacks the sword into a few ropes, and the sword bends. I didn't make this sword for cutting ropes. Who
else? There was also like you get like the ones that actually look like blacksmiths, right?
Yeah.
And like you can see like they've got like right. You can, and then you get like a bunch of like skinny dudes that like skinny teenagers that clearly like don't even have like a prominent Adam's apple, and they come on the show and they're like, you know, I just want to show my skills as a blacksmith. And I think I can like get this going pretty good, right? And
how so?
Oh my god.
That one fat guy that looks like he's sleeping the whole time.
Motherfucker Snorlax over that. I don't even think he made it. I think someone came in running midway and they just switched it out with a nice blade. And he's like, uh-oh.
He won, didn't he? He had to go outside mid fucking episodes like, oh, I'm getting headaches.
I liked it because
comes back and wins.
I liked it because when he won, they were like they showed him like they clearly asked him like, oh, how'd you feel about winning? He's like, I feel great. I'm glad everything turned out the way it did. It's like you can tell like that mouth was only used for intaking food. Right after that, the idea of talking to him is so lost. Right?
That's so fucking bad.
And by the way, can I just say, I've recently started watching MasterChef in South Africa.
That's a thing.
That's a thing.
Oh my god.
Right, and my god, I just there's no jokes in it. I just watch it for the
bad.
accent. No, I just watch it for the accent. Where
Yeah.
it's just like wait, let me. So you know how they say like if you want to do an accent, you have to say one phrase in that accent that you know you can nail all the time.
Yeah.
Right. He tells me your husband plays with himself a lot when you're not at home. There we go.
Yeah.
Right, I'm in the zone. Right. So they'll be like, Mariah, what have you cooked for us today? And then it'll cut to like.
That was Canadian.
Huh?
That turned Canadian real
No,
quick.
it didn't. He was like, Mariah, what did you cook for us today?
Today, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
There you go.
Yeah.
Right. So what happens is like there was one woman. Oh my god, she's so precious. I want to protect her with my life. Because you like have all these young hip contestants, right?
Yeah.
And they're all cooking, and you know they're all going at it.
They're
and stuff.
fierce.
Yeah, right. And then you have one really fat, like very, very fat old black lady, right? And like you see her waddle like a little Japanese girl, and she has to run from places because she's got very small legs, but she wears heels, and she's clearly learning how to use them. Right? And it's like all of the judges are like all of the judges are like, look at Tim over there. He's making sure that he's making sure that all the food is cooked correctly. And then it cuts to her, and it's like, look at Fifi. Okay, and Fifi's like, like as soon as the challenge started, she's like running, trying to get to the cooker, right? And it takes her like 5 minutes. And it's like, chefs. He's like, everybody in the MasterChef kitchen, you have 15 minutes remaining, right? And then it cuts to Fifi, and she's almost made it to the cooker, right? And then finally, she's just like, you know, I have to make sure the food is cooked correctly. And she gives it to the chef, and then he's just like. Fifi. And she looks at him, and he's like, this food. And he just slams the table and leaves, which is apparently a good thing. I don't know. Yeah. But,
This food was.
oh my god, it's.
I don't think I can make racist jokes.
No, it's good. It's good. I think
How we talked about MasterChef for 20 minutes, they went to Forge and Fire, then back to MasterChef.
Nah, forget
so good.
Forget Forged and Fire. I think MasterChef is where it's at.
It's so fucking good.
Right. Also, having said that, I think like MasterChef Africa and MasterChef Australia are probably the two of the most nicest ones. They beat the Canadians.
To be nice.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean,
No. Australia, that's the supply. The country they gave us, can.
Yeah.
Such a shit can. Morty, get in the car. We're gonna go to Vindigo. Oh, jeez, Rick. And he's like, I've got a gun, Morty. I've got a gun and I'm pointing it to your head.
Oh, such a good show. Such a good episode.
Oh my god. Do you know what the funny thing is? Because it was made by Adult Swim.
Yeah.
And Adult Swim hosts Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
That's technically part of the Rick and Morty multiverse.
It's another universe.
But yeah, so I put on your notes First Dates.
Yeah.
Which for those of you that don't know is a show here in England and Ireland, right?
Borderland.
Yeah. And it's basically like people who have never been on dates or have come out of like a long-term relationship, right? They go back into the game, and like some of it is sweet, some of it is wholesome, others is just fucking cringe. Okay, so I've got 3 dates in mind. I'll start with the really sweet one.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like this really kooky Irish girl, right? And it's like the narrator's got a really good voice, and he's just like it's like Sophie is a 32-year-old bird enthusiast, but today she's hoping someone else will take her under their wing, right?
Yeah.
And like it's her, and it shows her feeding a bunch of birds, right? And what is it? She's feeding a bunch of pigeons, which, as we all know, shit chickens, right? And she's feeding them, and then like it cuts to her like in the interview, and then she's like, "Well, I left my home at 7:30, and I got to Belfast at 7:45, and then I made it here in about 28 minutes, and then I'm ready for the show." And I'm like, this girl is batshit crazy, dude.
Holy shit. Did the Japanese girls just see enough of us?
No. So what happens is, you know, like when the girl arrives first, or like whoever arrives first, they go to the bar.
Yeah.
Right, and the bartender's like speaking to them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, "What can I get for you?" And then she's like, "I will have a sexy beast," right? Which is a drink apparently, right? So he gives it to her, and then he's like, "So do you have any hobbies?" And she's like, "I love birds," right? And hearing her saying owl in an Irish accent, she doesn't say owl. She's like, "My favorite oil is," she's like, "There's the brown oil, the white oil, the tawny oil, right? I used to work in an oil sanctuary," right? And I was like, "Is that like a sanctuary for like mist? Is that like
a sanctuary in Dubai?"
Yeah. oil sanctuary is just Dubai. Right?
She used to own Dubai.
But then she's like, so you're like, man, she's kooky and stuff like that. This show is living embodiment and proof that there's someone for somebody else out there, right? Because it cuts. So it's like, what kind of guy are you looking for? And she's like, I'm just looking for a nice guy. You know, your best friend next door. And then it cuts to like her date for that day, and he comes into the interview room and he sits down. His name's I can't remember his name. Let's call him Josh, right? Yeah. He sits down. He's so polite. He's like, "Oh, terribly sorry, am I too close to the camera?" And he like moves back slightly. He's just like, my favorite animal, if you had to ask me, is a penguin. So he already likes birds, which is what they have in common, right? And he's like, my favorite thing to do is take my partner and go to the Arctic and watch the penguin. So he's already like. Got plans, right? Yes. And he's like, and if my friends had to describe me, I'd be described as the boy next door. So he's such a nice guy, right? So he was like, if this show can get me a girl, you know, I'd love it. And then like he shows up, and then he's like, when he meets her, he's just like, "Hi there, I'm Josh." He's like, "I'm Rachel. I'm good. How are you?" Right? And then like, and then the bartender's like, "Well, like, what would you like?" And he looks at her. He's like, "Oh, like, what are you having?" And she's like, "I'm having a sexy beast, but I can see there's another sexy beast right in front of me." Right? And he's like, "Oh, you're too kind." Right? And he's like getting all flustered. I'm like, that's so sweet. Right? That when you have sweet moments like this, there's equally cringy moments, right? Yeah, so I've got two in mind.
I believe we both got autism.
No. No, this makes that look normal.
Oh,
right. Yeah. So
that wasn't normal. What are you talking about?
So what happens is it's okay. I'll start with this one. So it's like a brother and sister. They show up as well, and they've got like dates of their own set up. They're not dating each other. Right? Their family tree goes straight up, right? But what happened is
Sweet home Alabama.
No, so what happens is so they're on separate dates, but their tables are next to each other.
Okay.
Right? And like I thought the brother was weird. Because, oh, by the way, the girl he's dating, like, this is mean, but she had, like, a pretty thick lisp, right? And she was like, so I didn't realize that until she was like, what kind of music do you listen to? And I was like, no, right? And then, like, the brother, when I, like, watched it, he was like, ooh, some of my music isn't exactly acceptable. And he starts laughing like, what the fuck, right?
Okay,
hi. Yeah. And then I'm like, and then he was like, I really like old diva music, like so like Madonna, Cher, all of that stuff, right? And she's like, oh, that's cool, I like it too. And then it cuts to his sister. His sister is batshit fucking crazy, right? She's like, so there's a scene where like when it comes to desserts, right? They bring like a fondue platter.
Okay.
And there's you know, is it fondue? No, it's like Sorry, it's strawberry and marshmallows, and then there's melted chocolate. So you dip the strawberry, and then you eat it.
Okay.
But because like it's a romantic thing, like if you and I were in this situation, I'd dip the strawberry in, and then I'd feed it to you.
Oh my god! I'm blushing.
Right?
I'm blushing.
No, so you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Right. So it cuts to the sister, and she's just like, I have no idea when someone speaks dirty to me. Right, and then and she's like, if they tell me like, would you like some food? Apparently that's an innuendo now, isn't it? I'm like, what? Right? So what happens is the dude that she's dating, he's a pretty chill dude. He's pretty normal. He clearly didn't understand what he got himself into, because what he does is he takes a marshmallow, swirls it in the chocolate, and then gives it to her, and then she just goes, and the guy's like, are the sound effects strictly necessary?
Wait, did he say that?
Yeah, she says it to her. Right?
Oh my god.
And she's like, all right, my turn. And then like she takes a strawberry, right, and then dips in the chocolate, and then she's like, swirl it in the pot. Right, and she literally does that with her tongue. She like ladles it around, right?
Yeah.
And then here's the thing, right? She like, by the way, like it's all romantic and stuff, but you know people put it in slowly because it's pronged. Like that you're essentially putting a fork in someone's mouth.
Oh shit, this
yeah?
fucking...
Bro, I was so on edge because what happens is like whenever he gave it to her, he held it out. She'd lean in and then like take the food.
Yeah.
Right. So that she wouldn't like bite into the fork, or the fork wouldn't jab her.
Yeah.
She just like goes in like this, like she's practicing her fucking musketeering.
Catch up.
Yeah. No, she's practicing her musketeering and like goes in, right. And he's like, okay, fucking hell, nearly I felt my life flash before my eyes there, right?
Yeah.
And then like he did the same thing again, and he gives it to her, and then she's like, I'm like, what is this show? Yeah. What I tell you, and what I say was gonna happen, exactly what just happened, right? But the weirdest one though, that's pretty weird. But the weirdest one was these two were these two were on the first dates thing, right? And they're both ditzy. And if I had to dumb.
Oh, okay.
And if I had to describe how dumb they were, right?
Hey.
That dumb.
Oh,
yeah.
It's my baby.
Yeah. My baby. Right? No. So very, very dumb, right? And there's a scene where they're both in the toilet, right?
Yeah.
So she's in the female toilet, he's in the male toilet, and they're both on the phone, right? And she's just like, honestly, Stacey, I think I like him, right? I think I've got a chance. And it cuts to him, he's like, honestly, mate, yeah. She's good, yeah? She's pretty smart. No, she's pretty dumb. Because, what happened was, she thought an octopus had 12 legs, right? That's what I was like, okay. And then it cuts to her, and she's like, I ate an octopus. I didn't even know you could eat octopus, right? What's the capital? Oh, no, what's the plural of octopus? Octopuses, right? I'm like, oh my god, right? So what happened was it cuts back to the guy, and he's like, no, I want it. If I want it, I've got it, right?
Yeah.
So then it cuts to her. She arrives at the table first, right? And then she goes for the salt on the table, and then I don't know what happened. She loses all motor control and just drops it on the floor, right?
Wait, what?
Yeah. She just reaches for it and then just falls on the floor. I'm like, fucking idiot, okay, right? Yeah. And then the guy comes in.
Almost did
the
almost
R, right? And then the dude comes in and he's like, "Why is the salt on the floor?" And she's like, "Oh, it must have been the air conditioning, right?" And then he was like, he was like, "You're pretty quick with your responses, aren't you?" And she's like, "100, baby, 100." I was like, fucking terrible. So what happens is he was like, "Can I ask you something? Yeah, it's gonna be real personal."
Yes.
Right? And she's just like, "Go on then." He's like, first date, bear in mind, right? I don't know what the rule book says on this, but he looks at her dead in the eyes. He's like, "How many men have you slept with?" And then she was just like, "Sorry," and he's just like, "I'm just intrigued," right? He just looked that word up in the dictionary. Yeah. And then what happened was she's like, "Hold on a minute, I can't believe you asked me that." And then it cuts to her in the the little back behind the scenes interview stage.
Yeah.
She's like, "I can't believe you asked me that because I don't ask him that. What if it's a big number like 12?" This girl's fucking retarded. And he's like, "Yo, let's rewind it back. I won't say anything." Yeah. Right? And no. So if anyone, if you guys whoever listens to this, if you're gonna take anything away from this, MasterChef, watch all of them except the UK one. UK one's pretty boring because it's a serious competition. Yeah. But USA, Canada, South Africa, and Australia, watch all 4 of them. Actually, MasterChef Singapore's kind of funny, but that's just because of the bad English. Because the guy was like, "Okay, chefs, you have 60 seconds remaining," right? And then
just 10 phones ringing in the background.
No, you have 60 seconds remaining, and he's like, "Okay, you have 1 second to go."
This is just adorable.
Yeah, but and then watch First Dates if you ever want to feel happy about a situation or something. First Dates, such a good show. Yeah. Alright, I think.
And then you have Undateables.
Oh my god, we'll save that for the next episode. That's another bag of worms I don't want to open. Right, and then so there's no way we can segue into this. Yeah. Which is sex stories, right?
Oh yeah, you're still gonna get into that. Yeah, true.
Do you have any to share?
No, go for it.
All right, so I won't drop any names or anything for obvious reasons. But
yeah, so Stacey, right?
No, so what happened was this is when I was in like just after secondary school ended, I was in college,
Mm.
right? And I had a friend, and he met this girl, right, mutually through a group. Okay, and I don't know like how valid some of this stuff is, because this is all what I've heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
So like, he didn't want like a relationship with her, but he knew she was easy. Okay. So
She's one of them. I know somebody who knows
yeah,
somebody.
yeah. Right. So he got his mate to set him up with her, right? And you know, when it came to it, they did the deed.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
It turns out the girl was on her period, right? Or she was, yeah. And I don't know how accurate this is. If we have any female listeners, maybe like confirm this or deny this. I don't know. But apparently, like, you know, you get pads and you get tampons.
Mm.
Apparently, you can get like little Bakugan balls that you can put up there, right?
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, no, neither have I until this
What?
point, right? And
Yeah.
what it does is like it kind of like stores all of the blood.
That's disgusting. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So instead, because apparently like tampons, if you remove them, they're still blood smeared.
I guess so.
Right? I mean, what's his name? The pads, if you remember, right?
Yeah.
But this one keeps it all in one ball, so you just have to like, and then like, you know, like, ping it out. Right? Yeah, exactly. Right? But yeah, so
Yeah.
apparently she was on her period, and they
Okay.
did the deed, and like the next day when he showed her to the door and she left, he came to his bed and he saw like this weird brown ball
Oh,
on his bed,
No.
and it like stained the sheet as well.
Yeah.
Right? And he was like, he'd say like, did you take a shit in my bed? Right? Like a rabbit, basically, like, right? And then he like kind of like flicked it, and he heard like the plastic sound. So it turns out it was up there.
Why would you flick a bit
No,
shit
no,
though?
no, no, no.
Think about it.
No.
Even that is gross on its own.
So it turns out it was up there, right?
Uh-huh.
But she forgot to take it out, right? And then like, all you know when like, okay, I'll put it this way. You know when you like, this is gonna sound crude. Like it's already pretty crude. But like, you know how like when you
I'll let you have it.
yeah, you know when you like burst a pimple,
Yeah.
right, and then there's blood,
Mhm.
and if you don't do anything about the blood kind of hardens and
Oh yeah.
yeah, but it comes out it becomes brownish.
Yeah. I guess.
It was like that in the ball,
Oh, no, that's disgusting.
right?
That is disgusting.
So it turns out, when we all found out about this, we said we're never gonna go into this room ever again. We're not gonna sit on his bed because it turns out all he did was he changed the sheet and just flipped the mattress. I'd burn everything.
The worst part is like okay. Let's say the girl did shit on your bed, right? First thing you think about, let's flick it. Why would you flick it?
I've known this dude for a while, and
Oh
and like he's
no.
he's the king of like awkward. At the time, he was like my king of awkwardness. Like there was a point where we got McDonald's, right, and we went to like a park nearby,
Okay.
and there was like a tree. It was sunny, so we needed the shade, right? And we saw a squirrel run off the tree.
Yeah.
So like, we'll sit down here.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we sat under the tree, and then as we were eating, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I hear like a little plop sound. I don't know what the fuck, right? I look at his hand, and it's got like this orange liquid dropping down,
Yeah.
right? And he's like, Most people are like, what the fuck, right? And if it landed here, your natural instinct is to look up.
Up.
Right? Not this motherfucker. He just sniffed it. And he's like, what is that? Right? And then like he looked up, and the theory we came down to is like the squirrel must have taken a shit.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
But yeah, no. So this is the same guy who like flicked it. So I don't fucking know, man. That's the sex story I've got.
Oh, I think it's gonna be the next Bear Grylls. It's just like
Adapt, survive, overcome.
there was a bear nearby, and he ate vegetables not long ago. Very healthy. Time to drink my piss.
Have you seen that video where it's like someone edits, I need to drink my piss after every normal moment? Where it's like they cut like they took every Bear Grylls video,
Yeah.
right? And then they edited I'm gonna drink my piss in between it. So it'll be like now that I've reached the summit, I'm gonna drink my piss. Right? And it's like now that we've gotten to safety, I'm gonna drink my piss. Right? And it cuts to him like apparently they did like a documentary where he was at his house,
Yeah.
and he was like yeah, so you know, it's a pretty chilled existence. I've had like this many years of training, and I just wanted to know if I could survive in every situation possible. I'm gonna drink my piss.
Brilliant.
God.
Whoa. We've hit an hour and 9?
Hour and 9. Do we have any more topics?
No, pretty much not.
You sure?
Yeah, I had like placements on it, but
Do you not want to talk about that?
there's not much to talk about, to be fair.
Alright,
It's just like, yeah, I'm applying for placements.
fair enough.
Actually, Gonzalo, there's this woman that's like the head of like placements and stuff like that, called Jessica.
Yeah.
And Gonzalo, I can't do Gonzalo voice, but he's just like, yeah, she's pretty cute. She has these beautiful green eyes. It's like, okay, should I shave for that? And just like, I don't know, but she's pretty cute. How old is she? Is she married? I don't know, but she's pretty cute. It's okay.
Is that what you shaved?
No.
Oh, okay.
I shaved for refreshers, but I look so bad shaved now.
No, I'd say you look good.
No, I'm gonna grow again.
No, let it grow. I'd say.
Let it grow.
Look, like,
Let
okay,
it
this
grow.
is where it's about to get a bit real. Listen, I think that dudes that look good with or without facial hair is a very rare find. And I think you fit in that.
Oh my god, it doesn't stop today.
But yeah, no. Sorry, that got a bit homoerotic. Anyway,
We're just two sapiens, no homo.
yeah, nice.
Thank you.
Nice. And on that note, I think that's a good way to like end it. But just let us know what you think, guys. I would be posting this on your YouTube channel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it's a work in progress. So if you guys like what you hear, then we'll continue doing it.
Yep.
We mentioned this in the previous one. We're currently doing this like once a month.
Yeah.
But if the reception's good, then we'll make it like a 2 times.
Yeah, fast enough. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
Thanks, guys, and completely on practice. 1, 2, 3. We're not in New Jersey. Done. That was brilliant. Still streaming, but that was
sick.
Yeah. We totally did not plan this. So
Is
casual.
it still recording?
Fuck. Wait.